Alright, rolling. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a running commentary of a recent photo shoot I've been on. Let me just say this. I thought, after last week's video, I thought I had nailed it. I thought I was Mr. Film, you know. Forget Ben Horn. Who is Ben Horn? Don't even know. Actually, that's his framed print right there. Legend. Yeah, Ben Horn. Forget him. Nick who? Nick Carver? No, never heard of him. It's all about me. It's all about me and my wisdom and knowledge of film. At least that's what that's the path I was starting to go down. Thought I knew it all. You know. Did Nick Carver's metering course. Ate it up, consumed it, and thought I was going to take over the world. And then, I got the film back from a recent shoot and started to scan it. And it all fell apart. So, all joking aside, I have been out shooting a roll of film with this camera. And it was lovely conditions, nice, foggy, moody conditions. This was a couple of weeks ago. And I was going to piece together this whole video with voiceover and stuff, but the images didn't quite come out how I expected. So I thought it was easier for me to, go over things in, face to face, and we'll look at the images and look at some of the video footage. And as well as that, I've been really ill recently. So I basically lost 3 days of my life. So I've not been able to edit. And today's Wednesday, and this video is going up today. So it's probably going to be late. I do apologise. But yeah, I've not been. In fact, I've been so unwell. I had to go for a COVID-19 test, and I don't know if you've had the displeasure of a COVID test. It's not very nice. But yeah, it came back negative, so thank God for that. But as a result of being ill, I'm quite behind. So I'm doing this video in a bit of a different way, where we're going to look at a bit of footage and look at the images and discuss why they didn't go too well. Right, what we're going to do. I'll explain what happened. I went out with my camera, this Hasselblad 501cm, and I threw in a roll of Porta 400. Now, I apologise, I realise a lot of people who follow this channel might not be interested in film, and it's all about photography, not film, but I do want to mention that the type of film you use is very important to how the final images look. And based on what you're shooting, the subject, the conditions, the light, based on that, you choose your film. I chose poorly, and now I'm getting reaping those rewards of choosing poorly. I chose Porta 400 because I have had some good results on a previous shoot. And Porta 400 really loves bright, light, high-key conditions. And we had bright, foggy, misty conditions, middle of the day, bright white fog. So I loaded some Porta 400 and went out. And man, I tell you, didn't work out. So we'll start off with the first image. And if you just sit back, relax, and enjoy this little sequence, and then we'll talk about the photograph. So I hope you enjoyed that little sequence there. It was a lovely area, actually, a new little location that I found nearby to my house, and we're still in our local area. We still can't leave yet, but it's coming, it's coming. But yeah, the image, right, let's look at it. It's not bad. I like the composition, I like the subject, I like the mood, I like the atmosphere, but the image did not come out anything like I thought it would have come out. There is a huge magenta purple sort of cast to the image. And if you look at it, you would be forgiven for thinking I was shooting a lavender field. Now, this is an image that I've edited and actually took out a lot of that purple. If I show you the original, look at that. It's like, it looks like I was shooting a lavender field. It's so vibrant and purple. And the truth is, I don't know why, because it wasn't underexposed, I don't think. I pretty, the exposure was pretty decent. I hardly had to lift anything at all. So I'm not sure why all of my shadows have come out purple with this film, because it hasn't happened on previous images, and it didn't happen on images from the same roll of film. It just seemed to be this scene came out purple. So if anybody knows why that is, if you could let me know in the comments, I'd appreciate it, because I'm still learning here, and that's the whole point of going out and shooting locally and just reeling off film. Anyway, this was my first image. Love the composition, love the mood. Really had to fight to get a final image that I was happy with. And when I say fight, I mean in the editing, in Lightroom, get rid of those purples and just try and sort the colour out, basically. Now, I did mention that this film works really well in bright conditions. And that is exactly why I loaded it, because it was a really bright, foggy day. But I found this magical woodland, this beautiful woodland I didn't even know existed. I found myself delving deep into the woodland, into this enchanted forest. But because I was delving deep, it got very dark very fast. And all of a sudden, I'm shooting a very low-key, dark scene with a film that really works best in bright, bright sunlight, I suppose. So I'll leave you with this next piece of film in the woods, and we'll look at the final image and discuss where that one went wrong, or perhaps could have gone better. So I hope you enjoyed that little scene in the woodland. 4K? Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, last couple of videos have been 4K. This is 4K. How's it looking? I don't know, I'm just trying it, Try and upload a few videos in 4K and see how it comes out. But anyway, back to the image and the whole thing, right? So the image, the final image is okay. I think. I love the composition. Love the composition. That main tree with all of those vines wrapping around it, and then those kind of two kind of kinked trees in the background. It's a nice scene. I shot it at f5.6 because I really wanted to throw the background out of focus to give it a very soft, ethereal look and make that main tree the sole subject, the main focus. But the problem with this image is the film that I was using is not suited to that scene. I mentioned before that this film works really well in bright, sunny conditions, as I've had success with in the past. And all of a sudden, I'm in a dank, dark woodland. So what I did was I overexposed my image. Now this file here, this one doesn't look overexposed, but if we look at the original, oh, look at that. I overexposed it by 3 stops, right? Because you don't want to underexpose those shadows because they will look horrible, like really dirty, muddy shadows, and it's not very nice. So I pushed it, but I think I pushed it too far, and that was a mistake. Really struggled to pull it back to what you're looking at now. So yeah, that was a mistake, I think, but it's all about a learning process. Now, another problem I have with this image, not only did I overexpose it, but because I'm using a film that's ISO 400, it gives you a very grainy image, very noisy, but with film, for some reason, that's acceptable as film grain. And it is actually, it does look quite attractive with the right image. However, if I'm shooting a busy woodland scene such as this, I don't want it to be noisy. I want the opposite of that. I want this image to be as clean as possible. So if you were shooting this digitally, you would shoot at your base ISO, you would open it in Lightroom, you would pull back the contrast, pull back the clarity, pull back the sharpness, everything to give it a nice soft ethereal look. But with the film grain is locked in, so you can't denoise it. And it just feels too gritty. Too gritty. And again, the film was the wrong film for the scene. But I only have 1 film back, so I couldn't change it. But that's a lesson I've learnt, Maybe get another film back so I can switch films. That would be quite nice. So yeah, anyway, the final image is passable. But it could have been so much better if I had made better decisions. So there you go, that's another one. Let's move on to a third image.
Literally just using up my film. No expectations of these shots whatsoever.
So yes, I found myself back at my local lighthouse. Now this lighthouse is funny. It has a good side and a bad side. If you go to the southwest side of the lighthouse, and you can see from this image here, it's lovely and clean, and if you get nice light on it, it can be a beautiful subject. But if you come around to the north side of the lighthouse, then it's dirty. It's really minging. It's because it's north facing, so it's got all of the lichen and moss on it and all the grime. So I went to the north side just because that's where I found myself. And I actually love the composition. I seem to be shooting this lighthouse so much with this camera, but just because it's local and it's something, it's just a really nice subject to go and shoot, and it's only 5 minutes away. So, lockdown and all that. But I mean, it's a terrible image anyway, and I don't really know why I'm sharing it. There was a point to this. There was a point. What was my point? Looking at the image now. Yeah, so the point is this. It's an ugly side of the lighthouse on an ugly grey day, shot on a noisy, gritty film. and actually all kind of works. It actually suits the subject. I think I don't think you see many images of the lighthouse like this. Most images of the lighthouse you see are from the southwest side, where it's lovely and clean and bright and has nice light on it. Whereas this, I don't know, it looks, because of the film grain, it looks like it was photographed in the 60s, and it has a certain charm to it. It does. It has a certain charm to it. Not, it has a realism to it. It's not airy-fairy Instagrammy. It's kind of grungy, and I quite like it. So the point I'm trying to make here is that, I don't know what point I'm trying to make. I'm still sick. I think I'm just trying to get this video out. The point is this. Not everything has to look pretty to be a nice image, The subject is dirty. The film in the dark, dank conditions comes out a bit dirty, as we've seen from previous images. But in this instance, it kind of works. And I like the simplicity, and I like the honest nature of this photograph. All right, because that's what the lighthouse looks like if you go to the north side. Honestly, if you ever visit this lighthouse, go to the north side. It's horrible. So there you go. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Now, the reason I'm kind of making this video, if you like, and not just playing the footage and showing the images, is because I just wanted to get across that it's important to make mistakes. It's important to go out and shoot stuff that doesn't particularly work, because someone's at the door. Oh man, actually I think this is the courier coming to collect your books. If you've pre-ordered a book, especially if you're in Germany, I think yours are going to get shipped right now, which means I'm going to have to come back and finish this video. Right. Give me a minute. Oh, sorry about that, but if you're from Germany or Belgium and you pre-ordered a book, happy to say it's on its way. All right. Well, it's raining. I just had to load like 38 bags of books into the back of a van. Right, what was I saying? I'm trying to think of an ending for this video, a conclusion. Fisherman's friend. Speaking of which, not fisherman's friend, but book. I'm really happy with it. Like, so much better than I thought it would be. I don't know, I'm always paranoid. I always think it's going to come out looking terrible. But yeah, looks great. I'm really happy with the print quality, the image quality, the paper quality. Without tooting my own horn, feels like a proper book. Like, not just a self-published book, but like a proper book. Anyway, that will be on sale. Well, not on sale. It'll be available in, I don't know, like as soon as I've shipped out the pre-orders, which should be in the next week. So in about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. Guys, video's gone way off track. Right, so the point I'm trying to make is making mistakes, no matter if you're shooting film or digital, is always a good thing and should never ever bring you down, make you feel bad or anything like that, because it truly is the only way we learn. What have I learned from my last photo shoot with this camera using Portra 400? Now I know what best suits that film. If I want to go out and shoot high-key minimalist images, middle of the day, I'll probably go ahead and use this film. But anything with real deep shadows and dark ambient light, I'll not use this film. I won't go near this film. And all it meant was an afternoon out shooting for me to really learn firsthand why that is. So it's always good. Photography, it's good to make mistakes. And to be honest, you should always be making mistakes. Like, you should always be trying new things, experimenting, going to a location that doesn't work out. That could be a mistake, but that's a good thing because you can learn so much from that. Okay, I'm going to end it there because I really have to crack on it. I'm so tired. I'm still not 100% and I've just literally loaded 360 kilos into the back of a lorry. Right, what time is it? Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to try and get this video out by 6. And with my internet speed, that will be a miracle. But thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time for God knows what, because I haven't got a clue. Bye for now.
Done. that is the roll of film wasted. Probably. It's all good fun. There goes the microphone.